Hello. Now, first of all, tell me if you can hear me. Hello, Cheryl, Michelle, Jane. Can you hear me? Please, someone tell me if you can hear me. Anyone hear me? If not, we're in trouble. Can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me. Okay, all right. Hi, Anne. Hi, Kristen. Excellent. All right, okay. So, if you're a regular here, I might look a bit different tonight um, because after last night's testing, I'm doing another elimination and I'm using a different laptop. So if it doesn't happen tonight, then it's a laptop issue. Um, but it also means I couldn't connect to my other good camera. So I'm just using a laptop camera and I couldn't work that one out. So I'm using Molly's laptop. So the color's a bit different and it's a bit closer and I couldn't zoom back. See if I zoom in, it changes the color. It's a bit woo woo. But anyway, I've got the overhead working. So let's see if we freeze tonight. And if we don't, if it goes through smoothly, then it's my laptop, which is actually a bad thing because I can't afford another new $2,000 laptop, which is the one that I bought, which is causing the issues if that's what it is. If it happens, if we freeze and we have troubles, then I go back to the internet provider again and let them know that. Hi, Robin. Hi, Robin. Two Robins, Robin with an E and Robin without. Susan, Denise, Amanda. Hi. Renee. Hello. So we've got some on YouTube, some on Facebook. Um, have I plied it with Gin already? No, Denise, but I have plied myself. Okay, thank you. So I've got two girls home tonight. Hi, Chris. Hi, Gidget. So there might be a bit of background noise because they're partying in the kitchen. So today is 40 years since Shannon joined the army. So it's his 40th anniversary today of when he enlisted in the Australian Army. So we're not really doing anything major, but girls did come around and I had a special box made with him. I should have brought it in to show you because it's been like 6 months in the making by another Army friend in Queensland. I think his Instagram is called Parade Boxes. And it's an amazing, beautiful box, store medals and things. I'll get it in a minute and I'll show you. Anyway, so we gave him that and he was suitably impressed. But his medals are at work, so he can't put them in. Hi, Mark. Hi, Liv. Hi, Wendy. Veronica. Karen. Hello. Now, I've got my new merch hat on, which is just, you can't even see it because it's just flaring out, I think, flaring out in the light. But I've got that on because after having my hair all nice last week, coming from the hairdresser, today it's been up and to the gym and it looks horrible. So I've got that in. I have echoes. Okay, I have echoes. Thank you. I know how to fix that, I think. Let's mute that. Okay, does that fix echo, Cheryl? Just let me know if that fixed that. I forgot about that part. Hi, Susie. Hi, Caroline. Is that the echo's better now? Hopefully it fixes it because if it doesn't, I don't know what else to do. um, hi, Fiona. Yes, go and do some work. Hi, Lorraine. No echoes? No, still echoes. Oh, still echoing. Oh, now I don't know how to fix it. Okay. Hi, Jane. So that shouldn't still be echoing. Okay, now you've got me worried. So that is muted. Maybe static sound as well. All right, how do I get rid of that? Okay, sound. Turn off. I'll probably wreck the whole laptop for Molly when she goes back to use it again. Turning everything off, but you can still hear me? Okay. Sounds okay to some, but echo for others. That's interesting. Okay. Microphone. Okay, you can still hear me, so you haven't when you don't speak as quickly. Okay, all right, I'll try to speak slowly, but it shouldn't. Okay, I would have thought I had that right. All right, let's see how we go. Hi, Janet. No, Veronica, I certainly do need a techie in the family. I'm as techie as it gets, unfortunately. All right, let's push on. And if it comes too bad, then I'll have to stop, take 5 minutes, go back to my other laptop that I know how that works. But for now, let's push on. Okay, so while we're needing that stiff drink, Jane, everyone else, my gin of tonight is. It's another Drifter's End, which was limoncello one last week. Drifter's End Distilling Company, Tasmania, and it's their pink gin. An Australian Gin Award bronze in 22. So again, it's not. I'm going to go to the overhead camera, which is not quite so, doesn't blow out. So Drifter's End Distilling Company pink gin. I've just set it with some ice and strawberries, and it is actually really nice. It's got a little fruity flavour on it, so nice and refreshing. And refreshing. It's not very pink once you mix it with your soda, like I do with a soda. But so, Drifter's Distilling Company from Tasmania, another Tasmanian one, and very refreshing. Hi, Gwen. Hi, Wendy. Lots of Wendy's. All right. Oh, just says Facebook stopped my broadcast. Are you still there with me, Facebook? Seriously? Can you still hear me? Yes, I didn't have any raspberries, Kim. Otherwise, I would have had it with raspberries. Can you still hear me? Okay, it's still showing mine. Okay, I've got this big message saying, oh, Facebook stopped your broadcast. You can learn more about their terms and conditions here. Maybe I wasn't meant to show alcohol. Oh, well, who knows? Maybe they're just scaring me. They're a law unto themselves, aren't they? Okay. Well, let's ignore those warning messages, and we'll keep going. Okay, so, okay. So what I've got to show you, I've got lots to show you. So who did we see in Melbourne last weekend? It was a huge weekend for us, for Joe and I. It was so nice to catch up with so many people at the Tilda event, the Tilda Jubilee event. And it was, yeah, it was just nice to catch up with everyone. It was busy, it was hectic, but it was lovely to catch up with everyone and spend some time. It's been so long since I've seen a lot of designer friends and shop owner friends because we haven't had our Australian equipment trade show for many years where we usually catch up, and we've been seeing a lot of other shows as well. Now, if you're an ASA person on here, and I can see there's a few of you on here, then check out the group. Booking is open today, so have a look on your Facebook group for the link to book. I think most of you on there already have, but get in there quick and get what you want before we open it up to other people. That's just a little secret one there for you. And what other messages have I got for you? We're about a week behind on getting orders out. So if you're waiting on an order that you placed, because we've been so busy and so much coming in, Lauren's been holding the fort. Donna's been away visiting Pink. Hi, Rhonda. I think we're running about a week behind getting orders out, so they are coming. If you've been on the website the last couple of days, just story of my life. Apparently, we were attacked like a DOS attack and had, a million Chinese people join our mailing list. And yeah, all these things that happened that haven't happened before. So the websites are very, very slow. I might have to bite the bullet and completely move them to a new server, but that just scares me a lot. So that's been a bit slow, so I haven't got the newsletter out. And other than that, I think we sorted out the big pond email address, though. It's just never ending. Yeah. Okay. So between all these things, let's just think about stitching as much as than worrying about IT problems. Okay. Right. Things Jo sent home to show you. Okay. So a few new things that we had at the Tilda event. First ones are these, which they were done before already, but we just showed them there. And again, I'm going to switch the overhead because this top camera is pretty horrible. It just doesn't adjust the lighting. So these, it's a bit hard to see, but there is engraved on them. If I can catch the light on it, there you are. It's engraved on them, a little design in the middle. I can see it here. And so they're thread holders, but they're reusable, writable thread holders. So they're in acrylic in brand colours, pink and blue. And what it means is that you can get a Stigma pen or a Sharpie or an overhead pen, and you can write your project on it. So let's say Tilda. And then you can write your thread numbers around here and put your skeins of thread in. And then when you finish your project, you can take them all back out and put them in your bag. Hi, Lynn. You got home safely, safe and sound, and they missed you a lot at work. Straight into it, I guess. So, and then you just an alcohol wipe, like a nappy wipe or an alcohol wipe or something, and you just clean it all off when you finish and you're ready for the next project. Or, of course, you could have one for every project. Keep threads on there. So they were new. And we've got them in the pink and the blue, and we've also got them in clear. I've left that one downstairs. We've got them in clear acrylic too, which you can see the engraving a lot more on the clear, but I can see it here. You just can't see it on the camera. And it's got a little floral wreath there where you write your project name, and then you write the numbers all the way around, and then loop your skeins through the holes. Sharon Lilybell Lane's got a really cool I think it's a YouTube video, or it might have been a reel on her Instagram of how she's just released some thread holders too. How she takes apart her skeins and cuts them and plats them in the holes. So they're all plaited in there. That takes a bit of doing, a bit more time. I'm not that patient, but anyway. So I like the writable ones because they're reusable. We've got all the beautiful blackwood ones as well, but obviously not going to write on your blackwood and then take it off. These ones you can write and then reuse them. That came at the request of a friend who's a cross stitcher, and she came up with the idea to do those ones. So that's that. Okay, brand new, just arrived, is the Sojourn, Suncare Sojourn new stitchery panel from Natalie Bird. Oh, it's another one. We have all her stitch panels, so we can never keep them in stock. So this is a new one. I'm just going to, I will add the links in for the thread holders and then the stitchery panel. So this one, it comes with a range of fabric, but we didn't get the fabrics. So it's got a little, I suppose it's a boy and a girl, or a man and a lady, a penguin at the beach, a crab. Now the stitchery, Sojourn stitchery, is like a beach theme, I think. This little house one here, a yacht. They're all various sizes. The patisserie and the little, you can see that it's like a little moped with a bird on it, and then the memo tail or a whale in the water. A little to-do list here: sleep in, brunch, lays by the pool, siesta, sightseeing, dinner, surfer, suitcase, cruise ship, caravan with the fishing rod, palm trees, lazy day in the sun, binoculars and books for bird watching. Oh, there's heaps on here. And then there's the beach houses. Just let Mr. Bentley know if someone's letting him out. Thank you. He doesn't want to go away from me, but there's good people out there. So that's the brand new linen stitchery panel. It's really long, so it's probably like a 57-inch wide one, I think. And then just narrow, so you can either, I'm sure there's a quilt that goes along with it. You can either do that. Did I not say pelican? What did I say, Cheryl? Did I say something else? Hi, Judith. And hi, Karen. Or you can just stitch them and make them into whatever you like. It's the stitching that we enjoy because they're all there, good, ready to go. All right, so that's new. Then I've got some of the Tilda projects we had, which you've probably seen, but we might have some new people here, so I'll show you again. I'm just going to zoom out. Oh, did I say penguin? Oh gosh, did I? I meant pelican. So I'll just zoom out. You get to see all my mess then, but so this was the Sugar Plum Dreams, the Christmas project we had that I redid in the Tilda Jubilee fabrics. So it's just like a Japanese rice bag. So it's a lovely, huge, big bag. And then it just zips up like that and you can get lots of stuff in there. It's really easy to make. It's just 4 squares, but they're pieced. But I added all these extra things. So there's stitchery, there's hexagons on this side, more hexy flowers, more stitchery. This is where you personalize it with your name if you want to. This side has another little stitchery hexagon, and then it has diamonds. This is a bit of a play with a few of the EPP shapes. And then this one has 2 little stitcheries and a diamond star on this one, which I'll put on a little bit crooked, but that won't matter. Just to have a go at a few little EPP iron-ons. All the iron-ons and the applique paper are included in the patterns, as is the iron-on transfer, and we still have some kits left over from the weekend in all those beautiful Tilda Jubilee fabrics, which was what the whole thing was about. So I'll just put the link in from that. Yeah, so if you throw up the Tilda Jubilee event, there was, I don't know how many new projects all made into a Tilda Jubilee. So if you've got a bundle, there was certainly no end of projects that you could make with them. Or like us, we just do the kits for the actual project rather than selling the fabric bundles. So you don't have anything left over and you've got exactly what you need. So that was Sugar Plum Dreams, Tilda Star. So then I've shown you this one before as well. This is Donna's beautiful version of the Tickety Boo bag. Now, we pretty much sold out of these at the show very quickly. I think there might have been 2 left, but they may be able to cut a few more. So I'll just put that link in as well. I hear from Canada it's been a bit hot in Hobart. It has, Jackie, but not so bad. It's if I haven't noticed it inside, I've been all right. But it's been hot for Tasmanians, yes. We actually even got emergency alerts on your phones saying that there was an extreme weather warning. It was going to get over 30. So sorry to all you Adelaide people and Queenslanders, but over 30 is an extreme warning weather alert for us. So yeah, so this is Donna's version of the Tickety Boo bag. So it's got the wide open doctor's bag frame in it. And then it's got applique and a little bit of stitchery on the pocket, and the rest is just quilted over the phone. But 35 in Walgett, yeah, see, we'd be dying if it was 35. So this is yeah, so we've still got some kits left in the Tilda there. It's a really easy bag to make. You could do it without the pocket, and then you could just make 10 of them because they're just beautiful bags even without all the extra on here. 45, Denise. Is that up the Riverland? Matilda did say it was very hot in Adelaide. 45 though. Wow. Wow. I did hear on the news this morning with global warming, they said that Darwin is predicted to head to, I think it was like over 300 days over 40 a year or something. Anyway, that was just something, we were talking about. That's why I don't live in Darwin, I live in Hobart. So there you go. So that's a tickety-boo bag. Put that in. Now, just before, while I was in Adelaide then, that weekend before, she whipped up this version of Holus Bolus. Now, you might not have seen Holus Bolus for a while. Just put in the links. But this one was a pattern at Chicks a few years ago. So there's lots, I think it was at Chicks at Stitch. So there's lots of people that have got these, and I see them around at events being used really beautifully. So on the front, it's got, have I frozen? Oh, that's interesting. We've got to 19 minutes before we froze. No, it looks like we're still going. My phone's still going anyway. It's almost a good thing, because if we're freezing, it's not my laptop. Well, okay, no, it's all good. Okay, must have just been you, Wendy. Your end. So everyone else is good. Good. Okay. All right. So this one, um, right in here, it's got this little bit of embroidery and this little secret scissor pouch where your scissors go in there. So the pot of the flowers is open at the top, and your scissors pop in there. And then you've got this little zipper pouch. If you were in a Hexie Club member years and years ago, I had a similar, just a little tiny zipper pouch, just like this on its own. And so this time it's been built into the project, so you can put threads or pens or whatever you like in there. You can stack that up quite high in there because it zips up. And then on this section, you've got pockets, so a big one there, and then all these in here. So you can put your different things into each section. Put your glue pens. You can even put your Happy Quick tools, whatever you've got. Oh, would you look at that? Sorry, I'll tell you about that later. Yeah, so all these little pockets in there, and then you can actually stack quite a bit in there. So that is called Holus Bolus. The Holus Bolus is pretty much means a bit of everything in there. So it's all Holus Bolus, it's all in there. It's because you can fit so much in this little project. So Joe did a lovely job with it. Did I already add that link in? I'll push it again. So that's Hollis Bolus, and that was in like re-kitted in Tilda fabrics. So there's various different Tilda fabrics in there. There's a lot of Chic Escape, and some of the basics, and some of that one which I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, it looks lovely. It all comes, she chose nicely. It all comes together nicely. So that's Hollis Bolus. And the last one I've got to show you is, it's not a new one, but we dragged it back out because it's been away for a while. So this is the Whyalla Wonders tote. Whyalla Wonders. And that's just a nice big tote bag. Let me see if I can show you better on this camera. Okay, so it's quite a nice big tote bag. On the front, it's got applique. I've put foam in it, so it's nice and solid, and it's got lots of substance. Go back. So on this side, it's got applique, and on the other side, it's pieced, but it's got little bits of applique on some of the blocks. So just little tiny ones. There's like 3 different ones there. You can see that. I guess it just looks like the fabric, but it actually has just got a little bit of applique in there as well. So that's the Whyalla Wonders tote. And I will add the link in for that. And then I was going to show you, but it's going to be a bit the Lovely Loves Me Not quilt that I hadn't finished. So this one did sell out straight away, as the kits did, but we're cutting more now at the event. So I don't know if you can't really see the whole thing, can you? So I'll show you overhead. One day we'll get a system working out. So the whole quilt is made as a giant log cabin block and then quilted. Okay, and then the flowers come pre-cut on the paper. They've even got little numbers cut out of them so that you can just find all number 1 petals, glue them up, baste them down with your rock sands, and then I just what I call quilt decay. So I free motion quilted the edge, which also then went through the back to make the flower garden. So it comes together really quite nicely and quickly, and it's got this lovely little flower garden on it. If I put the if I put the link in there, I wonder if that shows up. Let me see if that shows up. There we are. You can see a bit more of it if I do that. Yeah, quite fresh and modern, but I really like so I made the background as a log cabin, so you use that as the grid to place your flowers. So you just follow the layout guide, which is not full size, and use that as the grid to place the flowers in the right spot. So yeah, and that was all done with pie in the sky fabric. So yeah, so we sold out of kits very quickly on those. We are cutting more, and we've got plenty of patterns. So that was a fun one to do. Okay, so oh no, one more thing to show you was our so you have seen this, I think, before it was quite finished. So this is our perfectly imperfect timing clock. So it's got fussy cut sort of EPP pieced around here and around here, and then the numbers are just stitched and the little stitching here, and then you put the clock part into it, and then it's just stretched over a quilting hoop, and that gives it space for the clock part at the back. And then you can just hang that on your wall. So if you're a Tilda fan, you should have a Tilda clock. So again, we sold. I think we sold out of all that we had there, but we couldn't take them all because the hoops took up so much space in the suitcases. We couldn't take them all, so we had more of those, and we can ship them in big pizza boxes. So, having said that, we purchased the last of these big wooden quilting hoops. They were like just a cheap big quilting hoop that we've used for years to frame things in. The supplier has been sold, and the new owner is not going to get any more in, so we've bought them all. Once they're gone, we'll have to adapt. We'll probably laser cut just a circle or something to use instead. But yes, I could put that on my wall behind me, couldn't I? Let's see if I've got a pin. I have no pin near me, but yes, that could just go on the wall behind me there like that. Having said that, I'm not sure that the time is right at this stage. So that is the Tilda clock. I'll add the link to that. Yeah, it is very pretty in Maple Farm. I still think that's my favourite line for the last few years. Maple Farm. I liked the pretty softer colours in that one. I know there was the brighter colours in the line as well, but we sort of chose the soft ones. Okay, so whilst we're going along quite well, we will attempt to go back and demonstrate the Lollipop and Sunshine and Lollipop's block of the month again. So I'll sort of go from the beginning again because a lot of you might not have been here, or even if you did, it was not a very successful night with freezing and things like that. So I'm going to swap overhead and talk to you. So my magazine has finally arrived, and we're going until we find the launch of Through the Ads. Here we are, part 1. Okay, and then we get the full picture, And then we get all of the instructions that I showed you last time that I'd printed out because they'd sent them to me digitally. And you really need to read through them all because there's a lot in there. Now, I've seen some people, hi Roseanne, I've seen some people already finish their blocks. Quite a few of them have done them using the iron-ons. Some have done their own method, and a lot of people are using their own fabrics. But everything is in there if you need it. But then you need to go back to here to find the full-size pattern sheets to cut out and trace all your pieces. If you're not, look at that, that's my other project. That's filling up the whole pattern sheet. I was a bit greedy, wasn't I? But in there somewhere will be the shapes that you need to trace for your pieces. Now, I printed them out, remember? And if you've got a digital version, this is probably how you'll get it. So I printed them. If you've got the one in the magazine, I'd still make a copy of it. Then I've stuck them together, like joined the lines. So they had dashed lines on them where you join them to get your full pattern block. So the first block, let me get that back again, had this block here and this block here. So this is here. This one here is here, down here. That's the stitchery that goes somewhere in there, goes in there. And then these are all your templates for the other circles and triangles. Now, we have our EPP pack, which has all those circles and triangles. Okay, so they're in the EPP pack. Anything that's just a geometric shape is in there. We had our Mylar circle template pack, and that's if you haven't got this one, and Annie's talks in the instructions about using something like this and gathering your circles around it to turn your edges. But this is a much better way. So if you've got this, I'd just do it that way. And then we have our applique pack, which has one of every shape in the quilt. So you need to take those out and sort through them all until you find all the pieces for the block that you're working on. It just takes a little time to do that, to find them all. But they're all in there. There's a couple of spares of some tiny ones, and there's a spare piece of paper in there in case you lose one, because it's very easy when you're taking these in and out to lose one of the little shapes. And we understand that, so we just add a little scrap in there for you. You might have heard I said that we actually missed out some circles in the packs in the first couple of hundred we sold out of, sent out. And we can replace those, or you can just trace a 2-inch circle in the middle of a larger circle. So you could just trace one in the middle of that and cut it out smoothly. It doesn't matter what happens here because you only need the outside edge. So you could trace a missing one out of there and cut it out, or if you've got applique paper, out of anything. So yeah, so never fear if you haven't got your 2-inch circle. We have replaced a lot of them. If you're placing an order, you can ask us and we can throw them in for you. But we don't know who's bought all the thousands of packs, so we can't replace the missing 4 circles to everyone. We are sending them to a lot of the shops and they're sending them out. So that's where you match up from your EPP, and this is where you match up from your applique. Now, a note about the triangles, which I went through last time, but we have had some more people contact us and say that the triangles are incorrect. All of these shapes were traced directly from Annie's original files, which are the same as what's in the magazine, and they were all checked by us and her and signed off on. But I must admit, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. Let me see. Sorry, I'm just looking at the comments to see if I missed anything. I'm just going to go zoom in a little bit so you can see this. Right. So I must admit, when I first got one out and put it down, I thought, oh no, it doesn't match. I've made a mistake, and my heart sank and I literally felt sick. I thought, no, there's hundreds of these everywhere. But You notice on the template sheet it has a little arrow. These triangles are not equilateral, so each side is not exactly the same. I think that means it's an isosceles triangle where those two are the same and that's not. So you just have to turn your template until it is up the right way and it matches the triangle on the patch. And then I would also just, if you had a pen or a pencil, which I haven't got with me, I've got a pigment pen, that's the glue side, I would just put an arrow on that to remind yourself. Okay, then we fuse that to our background fabric, which I did a few here. And if I see, I'll just check that again. I think that's the right way. And then I would glue over just these two edges, not this bottom one here. But we do want that, when you're cutting it out, your seam allowance out, I talked about this last time, we do want that bottom seam allowance to be as close as exact 1/4 inch as possible. So you can just use a quarter inch ruler, the QI quarter, or this is just one of our corner cutters with a 1/4 inch line on it, and you could rotary cut along the edge of that, or you can just mark it and cut a 1/4 inch. The other sides don't matter, but this one we want the seam allowance pretty evenly at a 1/4 inch. Okay, so then I'm just running a line of glue along the edge of the paper, fold my thumb until it sticks to the glue. So until you feel the edge of the paper and then you're pushing down onto the glue. Okay, we've got those glued over. Now, if you're going to be machine piece sewing this down, you could put another bit of glue there and just fold that little tail back so that it's under, ready to go. And then when we're putting that onto our background piece of fabric, and you'll need to read the instructions, you've got to cut a specific strip of background fabric, and then these are all going to lay along the bottom. So when we're putting it on, that should sit on the edge of your fabric strip. Let's pretend this is our white background fabric. However long it was meant to be. So that would sit, the paper would sit, pretending this is white, the fabric would sit along seam allowance even because we added 1/4 inch and you're going to have a 1/4 inch on that. But this needs to overlap by a 1/4 inch so that when you sew your seam line, it's going to go straight through those points there. And once you do that, you should fit the exact amount in onto the strip of fabric. On the book. But if you put them like this, you'll get to the end and you'll think, oh, they're not all going to fit. I've cut them wrong. But it's because if you then sew your 1/4 inch, you're going to have a big gap there. So you need to overlap them. I don't think there's a full size template in there for that. Okay, so you can see here, you're going to fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on a 10-inch strip there. So if they're overlapped properly, then you should end up with a 1/4 inch seam allowance at each end to sew into your seams, and they should fit nicely with the points matching there. So that's the triangle, something to be aware of. Don't panic that the papers are the wrong shape and size. You just have to make sure you get that up arrow right, because otherwise when you put them, if you lay them out that way, you can see they're not all going to be even because they're not an equilateral triangle. Bit tricky, that one. Okay, all right. On to the applique. I showed you some last week. And I've got all my pieces out here. Fiona has asked if I can demonstrate on this little one here because it's a little bit tricky. So I've already got that traced and fused on. I know it's not a fabric from this range, but that was done for photography earlier. So I could probably, no, I can't. Oh yeah, probably pull that off and put it on a Tilda fabric. So sometimes it will let you pull it off and re-glue it. Usually when you want to, it won't. Okay, so that's my saucer, and then I need my cup. So I'll put my cup onto Let's say we put it onto this. I'm just grabbing fabric. I'm not sort of being too fussy about it. And then I need my little leaf here. So I'm just allowing like my little small 1/4 inch, oops, can't see that off the camera, small 1/4 inch seam allowance around it. And then I had flour. So we'll do the flour on, I think it'll fit on this little scrap here. Then I'm off the screen. All right, so then I'm going to cut out with a small 1/4 inch, probably almost like more, almost 1/8 of an inch. So what's between half and an eighth and a 1/4 inch? That's 3/16. So let's say 3/16, or let's say 4 millimeters. Now remembering these are tiny pieces, really quite tiny. Some of you may choose just to use like a fusible web and a blanket stitch to do this instead of attempting these tiny turned edge pieces, but at least the papers give you a fighting chance. So that's going to be tricky in there. And do my black mat so that you can see better. So these ones in here, I'm going to cut into both little corners. I'm just going to snip in. So it's like when you're cutting, you make a hole for a zipper and you've got to cut into those inner points. This one I've cut to the inner point. These ones I'm just going to cut into that inner point, but not quite all the way. All right, let's start with the easy one. Just checking on the comments that I've missed any. Did I think so? Hi, Carol. Andrea, hello. Mary, hello. Dawn, hello. Okay, all right. So you might remember this one here sits underneath there, and it's got a dash line there. That means that that little bit of the paper I don't need to glue over. So I'm just going to start here because it's going to be sitting underneath something else, so I don't need to glue that edge over. So I'm just doing my pinch and gather onto the glue. It's just letting the fabric feed around the edge of the paper. It's stiff enough that it just feeds around it, and I'm just pushing it onto the glue. And that one's done. I can leave that bit unglued because it's going to sit underneath that. So we don't need to glue over anything that's sitting under something else. Are you watching? It's like watching paint dry, Robin, is it for you? You see enough? All right, let's tackle the easy part of this first. Easy part is along here. So just going to glue that. And then go down this big curve until we get to here. And this is where it's getting tricky. So I'm going to get my glue right on the edge. I might get a little bit messy, and I want to make sure I, with my nail, pull that right in there as tight as I can to that inner point. Bit of glue there, and then I need to get my little triangle in. Okay, I've done that. Now, if this is getting too fiddly for you, we're going to pull out our tools. So I've got my After Quick tools that you could have your poor man's tools, Hugs and Kisses ones. And I'm actually going to use that beveled edge to make sure I pull over that little raw thread onto the glue. And then again here, pull it over onto the glue. Okay, and I just want to get that raw thread in as best I can. Now I'm just going to do this side as well here. So we'll get my little, and I can even just turn around and use the point to pull it over one thread at a time. And that one over. I do like the bevel because I can really pull it in and onto that glue. Okay. Now I need to get this little raw thread here as well. When I stitch that down, I'm going to do a few extra locking stitches where those little raw threads are at the inner points, just to couch them down. And then I'll just switch back to my thumb because I'm so much quicker with my thumb, but you could keep going with the tools if you want. Now, I haven't done these little tight ends here, have I? You may have noticed. A couple of ways of doing it. I could go to a tiny little pinch and gather. Or I could go with my tools. So I've got a little point there. Just going to work that in on this end. Making sure I'm still on camera, that's a bit tricky. And one at a time, just a little pull at a time. I need to get that seam allowance around. So I've got it as smooth as I can. So it's probably going to be a little bit bigger than what the original is because you've got a lot of fabric to pull around there. Maybe you could have trimmed back the seam allowance a little bit. I just want to get these little raw threads in. Okay, so there's my little bit there. Now the risk is you've got a little raw thread there, there, and there. So when you're sewing down, you'll just do a double couching stitch over that little spot there to couch in that little raw thread. There's no way of getting around that with needle turn when you've got an inner point. It has to have that little raw thread there. So that sits on there. Then we have this one. I'm going to do the first side with my thumb. Getting bored yet? What worries me most is that the laptop's working, so that might mean a new or some new solution. Okay, so I've done the first side and down at this inner point, I need to pull that right in so I've got my raw thread over. I'll do this one with the tools for you. So I need to pull that raw thread over. And there is my little flower leaves. So point there, I can work that in. Now this side, the seam allowance is poking out, so I'll just trim it back a little bit more. And there's my little leaves. Now we've got the last but not least the flower. Might start there. Get in as tight as I can. Little pinch and gather around that curve. Pinch and gather around that curve. Again, you could do this with the tools because it's tiny. And then around that curve. And potentially, oh, that's pretty good, but otherwise I'd go back and just work in any little points if you had any, and drag over those raw threads onto the glue. Okay, so Fiona, there is, I just haven't got my stem, I've lost my stem, can do that later, but there is a little flower here that goes in the teacup. Can't see that now, can you? There it is. Okay, Veronica, thank you for the feedback. But we've got through to the end, and now that I can eliminate some of the issues, I'll work on that next week. So mine's looking quite clear, unless when I move it goes in and out of focus. But mine's looking quite clear on my phone next to me, but I've got my volume down, so I can't hear the echoing. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it just keeps refocusing. And actually, I know why. That is my fault because it's a different laptop, and I should have turned off autofocus, and then we wouldn't have had that problem. Okay, so, and you can even turn off auto exposure, and that's probably a bit better too. So that should fix the focus, but I don't know how to fix the sound issue. I'll have to play with that. Caroline, you've got your IT expert there. It shouldn't be doing it because I've got the sound turned off on the laptop and I'm only using one microphone. So that's how I know to fix the echo normally. That hasn't worked. But anyway, so I've worked out the focus now. Sorry, I should have looked up and seen that earlier. So I fixed that. But now I need to work on the sound and getting the other camera connected. But that's all good because it's not my laptop. So I now need to obviously take my laptop back to the shop to redone once and see if we can work on that. All right, so we've lasted an hour and we got through without freezing, and hopefully you've learned a few things. So I will next week try and get my background block cut out, and we'll fuse the glue based these pieces on, and I'll show you the applique stitch and applique down. And I also might do some stitching during the week as well, but I didn't get back to my embroidery at all. It's still where it finished last week, so yeah, we'll do all that as well. So hopefully that helped a little bit, and I will see you all next week. It's going to be nice to be home for a few weeks in a row now, although we're flat out into AQC prep now because Joe's going in 3 weeks. So, yeah, so hopefully picked up a few things. I've got to draw my winner, don't I? And let's draw that, get a winner, see if I can read it. Oh, Joe, I'm redrawing. I don't think she wants to send herself something. It was Joe, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it says Joe Chandler. Yes. Okay. Sorry, Joe. Redrawing. Marg Ross. There you go. You are the winner of something this week. So we'll have it put aside for you, maybe at Guild next week, or if you're in the shop, I can give you that then. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Yes, see you at AQC, Sharon. It'll be here before we know it. That'll be the next thing. All right. Just a reminder that the website's on Go Slow. It is working, but it's slow. We're about a week behind on getting orders out, but the website will work. And ASA people check your group. Okay. See you all next week. Bye for now.